If you want to get the top odds every time, bet with Top Sport's Same Game Multi. Top Sport. Feel the excitement. Gamble responsibly.
G'day and welcome back to another edition of the Same Game Multi podcast. As always, thank you again for tuning in or listening in, however you're hearing our podcast today or viewing. Love to have you on board. Got big show today, lots of fun, lots of laughter to happen. J-Rod's going to run through a bit of the EPL. We're going to also recap the Aussies T20 World Cup Grand Final and see if we can't find a winner or two in the gong. So make sure you stay on side because we're about to kick off. As always, I welcome in the boys, Mr. Jared Aberton, the J-Rod.
How are you, boys?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Good, mate. Wonderful.
And Ches, Mr. Cherry.
Afternoon.
How is we today?
Sensational.
Good. There's something in the air, boys. I can taste it.
Taste it.
It's good. And
Sure, it's just not a bit of leftover lunch in your beard, mate.
could be. You wouldn't know what's growing in there at the moment. So, but bearded balms from Urala. That's the stuff I use. I put beard balm and oil and stuff in there when I'm on the circuit.
Keeps it lush.
So keeps it lush. It actually. And some people go, isn't that a bit gay? I'll say, well, when the wind blows the right way, I get a whiff of cinnamon and cedar wood. That's not real gay. That's delicious.
And not that there's anything wrong with that either.
No, there's not.
Boys, let's recap last week. Highlight of the week. Who wants to shoot us off first?
I'll go first.
You go, Chesney.
Mine runs into the cricket anyway, so with the Aussies winning that, really great to see. The highlight of that for me was Mitch Marsh getting 77 from 50, leading the boys to victory there, not out. Partnered there with Maxwell quite well. That was my high for the week, boys.
Yeah, I'm going to second that as well. Good to see the Aussies get up. At the start of the competition, they weren't, I think they're about the fourth line of betting. Fourth favourite for the competition, so maybe even the fifth.
I think they're about $7.
Yeah, so congrats to those who are on them nice and early. So, yeah, great to see. Hopefully leading with a bit of form into the Ashes coming up in December, I think, as well. So, yeah, good to see. Hopefully a few players might come into form as well, namely the captain, Aaron Finch.
Yeah, his captaincy's phenomenal.
Had a nice 5 runs, didn't he, in the final? I think it was.
End of the day, there's a photo of the 5, 6 now, World Cup trophies. Mr. War, there's AB, Ricky Ponding, Michael Clark, and guess who else is holding one of them trophies? Aaron Finch, yes.
Fringe, old Frenchie.
Boys, my highlight's actually in the cricket as well. Did anyone see the comments of Usman Khawaja?
About Chappelli?
No. Yes, it was. So basically, Usman Khawaja. So on the highlight of that, he's been recalled to the test side for the Ashes as of today. Was named, boys. So basically, Mr. Chappell had a little dig at him. It was Ian. Greg's the better brother too. I'll just say that first. Basically had a crack at him and said his time's come. And Usman come out on social media and said, if I'm going to take advice from someone, it won't be from you. At least if I am, it'll be your brother who was the better player in the family. So something along those lines.
It was good.
It was a really good little stab at the Matty Johns, Andrew Johns sort of who's the better in the family.
Yeah.
So it was really good comment. That
would have stung him too, I reckon.
Oh
so.
yeah, 100%.
Boys, Lowlight. Go back around.
My lowlight is all those people that doubted, David Warner, etc. That said that he was no good at the start of the game.
Not me. I like Warner.
Realistically, I don't think I really have a lowlight, to be honest. It's been a good week of sport.
For me, it was England. They let me down. If you didn't already have a reason to hate England, get this one up yet. They cost a charity, the Royal Flying Doctor Services, over $250 by losing to the Kiwis the other week. So I had them in 2 bets. I had them for my charity bet just last week or the week before, where I needed them to beat New Zealand and they didn't win. But I also got them on them early at the start of the competition for $4. So I lost that one as well. So yeah, that's me. If you didn't already hate the Poms, there's just another reason. So
have to skip over the pond and choke them.
Oh, mate, go back to the motherland.
Yeah.
Anyway, looking forward to whipping their asses in the Ashes as well.
Well, I got two. One's not so severe. There was a comment that Jeff Fennick made about tonight's fight with the Tim Tszyu fight, claiming that Tim Tszyu is as good, if not better, than his old man Kostya Tszyu. Yeah.
A bit early?
It is very early, considering I think Kostya had something like, it was close to 200 amateur fights before he turned pro.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had a lot of fights.
BP 2am? That's a lot of fights.
That's a lot of fights. He had a lot. And for the caliber of fighters that he went up against and fought and beat, Tim Tszyu has not got there yet. So I think Fennick didn't mean anything bad towards Kostya Tszyu. I think he's trying to push,
just promoting it,
trying to push Tim and make something out of him as well. Wrong timing, mate. The second low light is the snakebite Peter Wright losing to Gabriel Clemens in the Grand Slam of darts game the other day. Now, for those that don't follow the darts, Gabriel Clemens is just ranked in the top 25. He's a German player. Currently, he sits on about... Where do I have him here? In the order of merit, he's ranked 25th with £198,000 won for the year. Snakebite ranked second in order of merit with over $1 million. So he's 5 times a player of Gabriel Clemens and gets done 5-4. He missed, I think it was two match darts in that as well. And done me on a big multi. That's why I'm so dirty. I had a multi. on.
Yeah, the truth comes
There's
out.
always something.
I had a little 20-leg multi. It was paying 170 to 1, and I had 20 on it.
So that was the only leg.
So it was. There's the Tim Tszyu fight tonight. I had Djokovic in the tennis yesterday and a bit of other stuff. But yes, it cost me. I was very excited to be spending that $3.5 grand.
Already had it spent.
Dirty. With reason.
Would have been a great Christmas.
Very good. Just on your Jeff Fennick, Tim Tszyu better than his dad. Dana White came out the other week too after Usman's fight, Kamaru Usman's fight, and said that he's the best welterweight ever. Now, I think he might have forgotten a little Canadian by the name of George St. Pierre there, but again, it's just building that hype for the current, current fighter or player or whoever it might be. So they're promoters, they want to get as much money as they can, but. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one, and especially with Dana, like, come on, George St. Pierre. Mm-hmm. Really. Anyway, all right, let's move on, boys. 3 of a kind. As I mentioned last week, we had a good one coming up this week. We had already had it planned, so it had to take precedent over a few others. But, J-Rod, what do you got, mate?
Boys, this week, COVID strikes again. All the countries in the world go back into lockdown. However, there is one condition that everybody must return back to their mother country. So in this case, boys, I got a phone call. It's Mr. Volandis himself, boys. He's in trouble. He needs some pre-show, halftime, and after full-time entertainment. However, because of COVID, they must be an Australian band, but they can. This is a little fantasy about it. They will be in their prime. So if there is some band members, for example, that have passed, we'll forget that. We'll go back to 100% in their prime, boys. So
basically, we got to pick 3 bands who we want to play at the NRL Grand Final as the opening pre-entertainment act and also halftime. Got to be Australian. And can be anyone from in their prime, so any
absolutely,
era, right?
Absolutely, okay. Can be from even the the 40s, if you're into that sort of racket. So
bit of folk.
Yeah, bit of folk, a bit of folk. Boys, I'm gonna. So basically, we got 3. We need to give him 3 artists. Boys, my third artist, what I'm going to call this. I'm going to call it the Jack. I'm going to call this the Jack of Spades. Johnny Farnham.
Oh, boys. The voice.
Johnny Farnham.
Yes.
He's very, very good entertainment too back when he was in his prime. So having said that, I did actually watch him on TV not long ago when they did a concert for the Fires. That was 2 years ago. He is looking well weathered, but was still. You should have seen the bloke. Someone ought to hand him a towel or something. The sweat running off him, but geez, he was good even though he's a bit long in the tooth.
Was that one with Olivia Newton-John?
That's the one. Yep. Yeah, how good.
He could come back for his 5th Grand Final tour. Last ever appearance.
That's it. So my number 3, Johnny Farnham.
Very good. I like the voice myself. Chez, who you got?
Mate, my number 3, the boys, I'm pretty sure they're from Newcastle, Silverchair. Used to listen to those rockers back when I was in high school. I think I would have been probably about year 7, I think, maybe even year 6 when they come out with I remember the
Frog
first
Stomp.
album I listened to was Frog Stomp. Had the song Freak. Great psych up song. If anyone wants to jump on YouTube after they watch us on YouTube, type in Silverchair Freak and watch the film clip. I think it was probably one of the best film clips back in the day.
Was that year 6, you said?
Could have been.
Were you
year 7,
That was
year
roughly
6.
when they were building pyramids, wasn't
No,
it?
I think it could have been. Could have been
You're on the
around
same
there.
age. I don't know why I'm laughing. For me, boys, I'm going to kick it off with someone who's sadly not around anymore, and therefore the band isn't, but In Excess. Michael Hutchins, obviously. But yeah, back in the day, back in their prime, they were pretty bloody good. Had some great songs and sold out some massive stadiums. You see footage of them, I think, over at Wembley Stadium. 90,000 people. So I reckon they would have been pretty good. So that's who my third ace is, boys.
Well, actually, that's my second. This is my second Jack, is actually In Excess as well. Now, I can't exactly remember what album it was, but the very first day that they toured England, at the time, they basically, it wasn't like a public holiday, but they named the day was In Excess Day. And that was the day, that was, say, the Friday. It was the Friday night In Excess first ever performed in England, and it was known countrywide as In Excess Day. So
Yeah, right.
that's how big they were overseas. Boys, for those who don't actually listen to a little bit of In Excess, by all means, get on Spotify or whatever you listen to on YouTube and stuff like that. Boys, get around a little bit of In Excess. They are really, really good. So, and unfortunately, come to a short end, but no, that's my number 2, In Excess. I love them.
Nice.
Mate, my second there is Mr. Paul Kelly. Really, really good performer. Back a few years ago, we were working in the kitchens and stuff in the morning making the gravy, and we'd literally put on the Paul Kelly song, Who's Making the Gravy? Another one of his songs, Man on the Moon, one of my favourites as well.
Dumb Things.
Yeah,
he's got some good
How's a
ones.
heap? Yeah.
My number 2 is the same as your number 3, Chair, Silverchair. Again, about that same age, year 7, year 8. But just imagine them playing in the 97 Grand Final with Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously the boys are from Newcastle. Just that atmosphere would have been amazing. Israel's Son, the lights out, that guitar riff at the start. Give me a paper towel.
Was that real like, dirty raw sound back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
good.
Yeah, they've obviously changed a lot over the years, and a bit too much heroin and cocaine, but it'll do it to you.
It will. My number 1. This is my Jack of Diamonds. This one, Elton John. What?
He's not Aussie.
He's got an Australian citizenship today. Today he has anyway. No,
The only Aussie he'd have in him is about 6 inches, I reckon. From a tour once or twice.
Is George Michael Aussie? Is he? I don't know. No. Some honourable mentions too. Imagine if you had like a 18s only grand final, and you got a set of Kevin Bloody Wilson or some Rodney Rood in there as well. How good would that be, boys? Nah, my number 1 is AC/DC in their prime. Basically, the ball's out in the middle, referees are there ready to go, and the stadium goes pitch black, and there's just smoke coming up from a small stand above the tunnel, and there's Angus Young starting the riff of Thunderstruck. How good's that? Well, it's actually Malcolm and Angus standing side by side just doing that, and the teams run out. And the stadium, every time Phil Rudd hits the drums, the stadium lights flash, and it's getting me all.
Yeah, you can borrow my paper towel.
I feel pregnant.
I'll run straight into that. My top one's AC/DC as well. Another one of their songs I really enjoy listening to is Hell's Bells. I remember years ago we were playing darts. We were only juniors, actually. We were about 17. And our team name was the Leeds Club Undertakers. And there was a jukebox just inside the club where you walked in. And we made it to the grand final that year. Anyway, one of the boys has ducked in. We're all waiting outside. He's ducked in and chucked on Hell's Bells. And then we've all walked in like this nice little line. Yeah.
Funny you say that. Penrith Panthers run out to Hell's Bells.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, true.
So they do when they played. Well, the grand final wasn't at home, but they ran out to it at the grand final as well. So they do.
Boys, my number 1 ace is Cold Chisel. Iconic Australian band. Jimmy Barnes at the helm. Mossy, playing some of those fantastic classic songs that they have. I think that would just really light up. And I don't know why the fucking NRL keep going with Veronica's and Amy Shark and Justice Crew or whoever they. I've been to quite a few grand finals, 7 or 8, and I think I've only had one decent pre-game entertainment there. Like, they just can't get it right. Spend the money and fucking get someone half decent. Bring back Cold Chisel. Like, yes, they're 1,000 years old, but I can guarantee you that the audience that you're targeting are going to prefer that a lot more than Amy Shark or
100%.
or the Veronicas at the fucking Townsville State of Origin. They were horrendous. But that's all I've got, boys, as my number one. Sorry.
I don't know if you boys know, Cold Chisel actually grew up around here.
Yeah,
they certainly did. They used to practice out just out of town from where we live. My old man was telling me they used to play at one of the locals regularly on the Friday or Saturday nights. And back in those days, I think he said that they used to close at about 10 o'clock at night or something. So he said if you listen to Cold Chisel, then he punching on to get on the bus to get home.
I think a few of the lads went to the university here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Honourable mention, Living End, Hunters and Collectors, Screaming Jets. Any others, boys? Top of your head?
Molly Meldrum.
As I was saying before, I don't know whether they're fully Australian, but Crowded House.
Yeah. We claim it.
We'll claim him.
We claim everything else that's Kiwi.
Yeah. Bit like Sonny Bill, we'll claim him.
Yep.
All right.
Mike Hunt, another one. Mike Hunt.
Careful.
Say that a bit slower.
Very good, boys. As always, that's our three. If you like anyone else, make sure you send it in. Get in touch with us on our socials, website, wherever you can. And as always, I've forgotten again, if you are listening on YouTube, make sure you do subscribe. Give us that big thumbs up. That'll help other people find the podcast as well. And please tell a friend. It's not much to ask. Just tell one friend for us, and we'll love you forever. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back straight after this.
Another half win. From punters jumping in early or waiting too late. You get a good price on one leg, but the others have shortened dramatically. You still win, but it feels like you half win. Introducing Top Sport's Best of the Best multi. Get top odds on every leg, every time. Don't be one of these. Just bet and forget Bob Multi. Top Sport. Feel the excitement.
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
All right, thank you for sticking around. We're back for segment 2, where we're going to have a look at a bit of sport that's on the weekend. Not a great deal happening. We're kind of just in that bit of a funny period at the moment where we're waiting for the BBL to start. And as mentioned, the BBL, if you haven't already, we've been promoted for a while, and we've kicked off our BBL tipping comp. Now, we said that there was going to be cash money prize, and we were serious. We got over $500 worth of cash and prizes up for grabs for a competition that only lasts 2 months. So it's pretty fucking good. So make sure you head on over to our website. It's exclusively for our SGM Club members. So if you aren't already a SGM Club member, and I don't know why you wouldn't be, but head on over to our website. Make sure you become a SGM Club member today. And then what we'll do, we'll send you out the link to the tipping comp. You can sign up if you haven't already got an account. And we're ready for the December 5th, I think it is, boys. It kicks off. So only a couple of weeks. So
not too far away.
So make sure you sign up today. We'll send you the information. Get on board. $350 for first place, $100 for second, $50 for third. And we'll have a few other random prizes throughout as well. Only goes for about, like I said, 2 months. I think there's only 6 rounds and a handful of finals. So good odds. Good odds, good money as well. So
500 large, boys. See how we go. Might even get them in them longer 3-figure green ones if we can.
Hey, nice crisp. Just just make sure the ink's dried on them first. Straight out of your Skyrocket too, I believe.
Yeah, make sure it's not too powdery on one end as well, and they're not
rolled.
They're not half rolled. So.
But yeah, like I said, head on over to our website. It's on screen at the moment. Become an SGM Club member. There's no reason not to. And it's reasons like this that you become an SGM Club member. Exclusive shit, free shit, and you can win a lot of money. So head on over today. All right, boys, let's talk a little bit of sport. J-Rod, you want to kick us off, mate? Or Ches? Who's going?
Ches, you do it. I'll give you the honours.
All right, well, I'll let off with the cricket from the weekend with the Aussies beating the Kiwis by 7 balls. They sort of scraped in there again. They did that in the last game, didn't they? They won by 6 balls, I think, in the previous match. So,
Pakistan.
Yeah, so they didn't leave it right till the end, but it was almost there. Dave Warner, he actually got player of the tournament. In that game in the final there, he had 53 from 38 balls. Mitch Marsh got player of the match in the final, not out. And Aaron Finch with 5 runs. Birdo, I'll leave it over to you, brother.
Yeah, so that was a good little performance, boys. Can somebody tell me how the fuck Mitchell Starc keeps getting picked? I don't get it. Boys, he takes no wickets and he just goes for a bath all the time. It's just so frustrating. And then I read the team list for the test side and he walks in.
Hey, maybe.
Boys,
Is he rooting Langer's daughter or something?
mate, I think he's. I think he must have photos or something. You know the old saying? You know when people have a laugh about it? You're laughing about it now? No, I think it's serious.
He's got something over him.
Boys, I'm not 100% sure of what. Who is he rooting? I'm not putting it that way. Lisa Healy. Ian Healy's daughter.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Is he a selector?
He could be. Hey, conspiracy.
We've uncovered the truth here on the
Hey,
podcast.
look
Breaking
out.
news.
Heard it here first.
conspiracy. And it probably has something to do with 5G as well. I reckon that's got something to do with
Could
it.
do. Vaccinations. And
Tornadoes.
Yeah, tornadoes, boys. But it was really good. So obviously Justin Langer's he's been on the raw sword for a long time. You know, people are. he's been copping the raw sword, boys. Act your ages, boys.
Wow, mercy.
So he's been copping a bit of flack. I'll put it that way. There you go. The immature people. So basically, people are almost calling for his head. As I said before, very similar.
It's going, doesn't he?
Fucking hell. Anyway, I'm trying to say something positive here. Anyway, so his ex-opening partner, Matty Hayden, as you boys are idiots. Fair income. So basically, Matty Hayden give Justin Langer a rap. Obviously, they
So he's not raw anymore? He's wrapped him up?
Yeah, he's wrapped him up.
Okay.
Just said winners are grinners, and hopefully they'll give you the respect you deserve. And that come from Matty Hayden, which is a good little touch, considering those guys probably played, mate, I'd reckon up around 100 tests each together, opening at the top, also one days, etc. So
Good opening partnership, I'll give him that.
He was a great batter, wasn't he?
absolutely. So, but yeah, it was good to see him get the chockies too. And when we got beaten in an earlier game, I think it was South Africa beat us. We
just beat South Africa.
we only just scraped through anyway. But that was it. They put the line through us.
Pakistan beat us, didn't they? India beat us.
Yeah, I can't remember.
10 moons ago.
I've had too many grogs and too many head knocks.
Yeah,
since then.
but no, it was good because typically we have struggled in that T20 format.
Yeah.
You know,
particularly when we were ranked fifth.
yeah, I think we were fifth line of betting. I mentioned that Bangladesh were above us in the rankings, so it was a great performance. And we mentioned last week we were kind of peaking at that right time, which was fantastic. A few players found some form as well. And it will be a good lead into the Ashes. Obviously that's a test format, but probably half the squad is probably still going to be there in the test side. So
Our bowlers, for example, they'll have that little bit extra fitness going in. So your Joshy Hazelwoods, your Mitchell Starks, obviously if he plays. Also too, when you turn around, you've got David Warner who's hitting bombs and seeing beach balls. Steve Smithy, he's been a little bit touchy, but that'll give him that little bit extra fitness. It'll prepare him a little bit more mentally coming into the longer sort of form. So,
Do you know much about the England side for the Ashes? I'm only just asking the question. I had a look at the odds today for the Ashes, and we're favourites by a mile compared to England.
By rights, it should be they should be fairly competitive.
And I think maybe because I think roughly we're about $1.50 from memory, and England about $4 or $5. Well, does that reflect because we've just won and England didn't? Does that sort of switch that up a bit, or does England have some different players?
No, well, see, by rights, they're very similar side. Obviously, no Alistair Cook from going off what they were before. Boys, they still got Broad, Jimmy Anderson, Jofra Archer, who he was the one who put the end to Steve Smith with an unfortunate head knock.
Root.
Joe Root, who at the moment's playing some terrific cricket. At the same time, boys, Ben Stokes is playing, and when we played him last, he was the best all-rounder in the world. He was the number one in the world for all-rounder in the test format. So, and he's still turning up. I think it's more the fact that they're coming here. And there's been a lot of criticism saying that they've played, since our last Ashes test, they've played something like 26 tests in 2 years. But they've been their COVID has been, I'm not sure what they've done, whether they're higher vax rates, quicker vax rates, etc. They've got on with life a little bit quicker than us. And they're saying they're a little bit burnt out. Well, boys, we might be a little bit underdone because we haven't played. I think we've played 13 tests in 2 years. So they've played twice the amount of tests, which that could affect their legs, but at the same time that could give them momentum, that little bit extra fitness in the longer sort of format. So and we could be a little bit underdone because we haven't played any tests. Mm-hmm. We were meant to play. obviously a pre-test, but with a little bit of dramas over in the Middle East. I believe it was like a Pakistan. We meant to come over here, do a 2-game tour prior, but it was called off because of tensions in the Middle East. We were meant to play there, correct. So that was called off. So, boys, having said that, the market, everyone's saying it should be a 5-0 whitewash. But I don't see that happening. As I said, Joe Root's playing some terrific cricket. Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad are some of the best bowlers in the world. Jofra Archer's just a young machine who ploughs through. Ben Stokes, one of the best all-rounders in the world. I don't know.
And don't forget the support from the sunburnt Barmy Army as well.
Well,
they up there in the stands, all pasty white skin, getting burnt to a crisp.
Sounds like me.
Singing all day.
About 11:30 in the morning, the trumpet comes out and they start singing songs, and it's funny, and they'll hammer Steve Smith and Davey Warner too. I remember they went the last Ashes over there was after the sandpaper anyway, and if you remember, they singing a song basically about Dave Warner should turn out his pockets. So Dave Warner, when the ball was bowled, Tim Payne takes it, so the ball's dead. He turned around to his crowd and pulled his pockets out to show the crowd that he had no sandpaper in his pockets. And the crowd loved it. They all cheering, they were clapping because he was part of the game with them.
Yeah.
But boys, realistically, Chaz, answer your question. I don't think the market reflects it that much. I don't think they'll come over here and beat us, but I don't think it'll be a whitewash like everyone's predicting. Like I said, that side, realistically, apart from Alistair Cook off the top of my head, I don't think there's too many other players that aren't coming over. And as I said, they might have that little bit extra fitness too, I think.
Boys, is there anything much better than Boxing Day sitting down 10 a.m, turning the TV on and watching the cricket all day?
Well, that's the only time you can crack a can. That and Bathurst,
love it.
And no one can frown at you because it's that's doable.
Yeah.
That and I'm starting to warm up to the Adelaide Test, which is a day-nighter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So which they reckon is phenomenal to go. So they basically have big beer gardens around the Adelaide Oval, and Adelaide Oval's rated our best cricket venue in the country. So basically they have these massive beer gardens, and it's out on the river, on the water that splits through the middle of Adelaide and stuff. And they have these like small festivals out the front, and they start from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way up to about 2 o'clock, and then they sort of dull it down. But they still have like barbecue, big small festivals without the music and stuff like that, and everyone's out the front. What they reckon you do, so first ball's generally bowled at 2 o'clock, being a day-nighter. So the first ball's bowled at 2 o'clock, and you'll sit out in the beer gardens, and you just go from person to person, just yarning and mingling and getting in around it. And then come about the middle of the second session, so you're talking about 7 o'clock in the afternoon/night. You go into the stadium, and then when they turn the lights on, that's when the ball starts reacting with the dew and the overhead lights. Creates a bit of an atmosphere. They reckon it is phenomenal. So I tell you what, that'll be on the list of things to do before I kick the bucket.
Hey mate, if you send a nice email to Tristan at TopSport, he might send us down.
Little
cover
promo.
it.
Yeah,
Cover
it.
Very good. Well, yeah, like I said, really looking forward to the Ashes starting, I think, early December, mid-December there. So can't wait for that. Anything else we want to talk about, boys, to wrap that up before we move on?
No, I'm all said and done for that one.
Done?
Done.
Take us in, Jared. What you got?
Got a little football, as the Europeans, or we call it soccer over here. A little bit of disappointment too. So in our qualifying group, we're a mile ahead. That when I say we, that being Australia, the Socceroos, we've hit a little snag. We drew with China last night. We were $1.14 or something like that. I did have a quick look on TopSport before I
It was
before
$1.14.
I kicked $1.14, and they were about $7 or something like that. Anyway, we had a 1-1 draw, and it was in horrific fashion. We did have to travel to China, but boys, that's you might as well be playing Autumn Lodge realistically compared to our
Wuhan?
no, I have no idea. But it's a little bit disappointing because then that now puts us in the third. Saudi Arabia obviously top of the group, followed by Japan, which Japan have beaten us, and in my eyes they're a hell of a lot better side than we are. Boys, I think we're gonna have to go a long road, same as what we did. So basically, your top two, so first and second in Pool A and Pool B, they go straight to the World Cup. Your threes, so whoever finishes third, they play each other. The winner of that then plays, I think it might be 5th or 6th in South America for a spot, which was Honduras last time. we played them. So and when we had to do it the long run to get to Russia, boys, I get a funny feeling we might be doing the same. And, we might not be as lucky as we were before.
So if we'd won last night against China or the other day against China, whenever you're watching this show, would that have put us into the top two? Or
Well, it would have kept us in the second.
Yeah, okay.
Having said that, there's still about 6 games to play. But in that 6 games, we've still got to play Saudi Arabia and we've still got to play Japan again. So realistically, we've got to beat Japan and just stick with them. So they're only 2 points ahead of us. So, at the end of the day, a draw's not so bad because you do get a point. But in that situation, that's 2 points going begging, so which is very disappointing.
For a game that we were probably meant to win, if we were $1.14 favourites.
Absolutely. But put that aside, boys. We'll play some more World Cup qualifiers not too far away, and hopefully we'll get the chockies, boys. But this weekend, the A-League starts, which this is the first year I've seen them do it.
Keep going, mate.
I had a bit of a giggle because last week Ches put his charity bet actually included an A-League game which starts this week. So we've still got that one going. He's got 2 legs up actually out of the 3. So we're waiting for, I think, Melbourne City to
beat Brisbane Raw. I need to buy some of that lens cleaner and get my glasses back working, I think.
It's about the 3rd time he's done it.
And
So
they should pump them by rights. So.
Hence the laughing.
So, boys, this is the first time I've seen them do it. There's 3 local derbies in the very game week 1, so
and that's how they should open things as well.
Absolutely.
The NRL should do it. I've always said I'm getting off topic. NRL, they should open the season with the rematch of the grand final.
Yeah,
what a way to kick it off. So to do local derbies like the A League's doing, it's a great way to build the competition from the get go, get that excitement happening. So credit to them for doing that.
Yeah, we used to Roosters always used to play South. Now that's changed, so it's lost that feel.
See, that's a local derby.
Yeah,
so it is.
Yeah.
Well, like Paris should play, Penrith or something, for example. We seem to jag the Warriors every year or someone like that. So, but anyway, so boys, this weekend Melbourne. So it's Melbourne Victory will play Western United. So they're 2 Melbourne sides. Sydney Derby, big one. Western Sydney Wanderers, that's my side, will play Sydney FC. And the other one is Newcastle Jets will versus the Central Coast Mariners. So that's realistically, for reserve grade football, that's not a bad little way to kick it off. Compared to the England one. I did have a look through the England form, and there is a London derby, which is Arsenal versus Liverpool, but there's no question about that. Depending how Mohamed Salah pulls up after his international duties in the last couple of weekends, he should do it in a romp.
I've actually got them in my charity bet multi this week.
There you go. They should
Do they play this week or is it next week?
This week, confirmed by the Burt man.
But boys, it should be good. And there is some talk that there may be another A-League side coming in some time to come. So which is good, but at the same time,
Redcliffe Dolphins.
I think it's going to be the Ipswich Jets. I think they're sour and they've changed codes. So. But, boys, the game I'm looking forward to is Sydney FC versus the Western Sydney Wanderers. That's always been a big grudge. Now, I could be wrong, but I think it's been 14 red cards in their last 9 games.
Oh, yeah.
So it's starting to get a little bit of, some South American sort of Venezuela sort of, what do you say, a little tradition about it.
People, and a bit yappy on the...
Bit yappy, so, which should be good. So, but, boys, having said that, the first game of the season, when we talk about kilometres in the legs, this is where a lot of sides could fail. They could pull up a little bit short. So, but nothing like match fitness. You can always, that's what they always say. A training session, you can never ever make a replica of a game situation. And we talk about that sort of stuff all the time in the UFC. You could be out for 12 months. You could train. You could do 5Ks a day on the road, doing road runs 5Ks a day, but you can never simulate exactly, the gameplay scenario. So it'll be interesting to see. But boys, a couple of good odds there, and they'll feature in my charity bet a little bit later on.
Really nice.
Very good. Do we want to head over to the big race there at Campbell Grange, the Gong?
Yeah, I think we should, but do you mind if I just jump in real quick? Just got a little bit of the darts just to cover quickly. We've got a few minutes left before the next break. The Grand Slam, which has been on, obviously, which I said before, it's played in pools. So there's 8 pools of 4 players.
Any water in it, or is it?
There's a little bit,
like a skate rink.
A rink.
Back in my day, mate, we used to go to the skating rinks.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they play a round robin in those pools, a bit like the World Cup qualifiers, so that you play your round robins. Then the top two, after that's all finished, play each other to go into the quarterfinals. Now, Top Sport's only got the bets up for tomorrow's games, not the Friday ones. At this stage, the Friday games this week are going to be sensational. There's some good matchups there. Fallon Sherrick, that's probably PDC, Barry Hearn now.
Got the call up.
Yeah, there's some really good games. So Fallon Sherrick, which I mentioned before, one of the ladies that's featuring in this year's World Championships, she's on fire. She's only lost one game so far, and that was the snake bite. She lost 5-1. She's beat Mike De Decker 5-0. And then Gabrielle Clemens, which cost me that bet, she beat him the other day 5-3. She come back, she was down, and won the last leg with a 170 checkout. She's playing Mensur Sulovic, and I reckon she's got a good chance of rolling him. Another good matchup there, Snakebite versus Jose De Souza. Another good match.
De Souza's a fucking
and
myth.
This one could be an ultimate, one of the best matches of only possible 9 darts played. Michael Van Gerwen, who's in form, versus Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
That's going to be an absolute belter, and that's on Friday.
Yeah, well, I've been watching a lot of the darts as well, Ches, and I said before, one of the best game of darts I'd seen in probably close to 12 months was Michael Smith, the bully boy.
Yep.
He played Raymond van Barneveld, which is good to see him back playing some good darts after.
And it's good to see him actually not moping around.
Absolutely,
Actually just get up there and playing.
Yeah, just playing darts. Had his earplugs in, I noticed, so he put his earplugs in to try and block the crowd out a little bit, so he can just get that, basically put the blinkers on a horse. He blocked the crowd out, boys. And as I said before we come on the mics and on the screen, just threw bombs with each other all night. 180 matching each other, 180s, 140s. And a couple of ton plus finishes and stuff like that. It ended up 4-4, and it come down to the last 3 darts, where Michael Smith just popped him at the post. So, but no, there's been some really good darts. And like I said to you, Ches, I said, mate, put your house, car, the kids, the wife, everything as much as you can on Michael Van Gerwen. And you picked that too. You said he has to.
I said a couple of weeks ago, he has to play good here. He has to play well to get that run to go into the Worlds.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. So
Now,
he's going to be very dangerous. He's not second favourite anymore for the Worlds either. He's now equal favourite with Price.
Gerwin, yeah.
So they both sit on a neat $5. So he's come in about 50 cents in the last sort of week.
Firmed up.
So people are starting to get some coin on him, and the odds are coming down because of his form.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Ches, tell me, this is a seeded. So everyone that progressed from this point, it'll be seeded. So it'll be 1 versus 2. So does it cross over? Yeah.
So it runs. So it's not actually seeded. So when the pools finish.
Yeah. So you seed your first and second in each pool. So it'll be 1 versus 2, 1 versus 2. They'll cross each other. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. So the Van Gerwen Anderson game on Friday, they'll be first and second out of their pool.
Yeah.
So the winner of that goes into the quarterfinals.
Now, one thing I did hear in that as well, if you finished first, I think this is the first year they've brought this up. If you finish first in your pool, then you get an extra 3,000 ranking points.
Yeah, right.
So that is huge for some people who are in some close battles, particularly, obviously your 1s and 2s are sort of starting to blow out, your Gerwin and that. But, for those, your lower sort of, your 6 to 10.
Well, especially the guys ranked sort of around 12th as well, because that'll pick their points up coming into the Worlds. If they get some points there, Premier League options.
Absolutely.
As well. So
and that also helps with their seeded draw, because the World Championship is seeded.
Yeah.
So
higher you are, the easier it is technically to get through.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very good, boys. All over my head, but I'm glad you boys love it, and I'm sure there's a market for it out there. So if you do like the darts, let us know, and we can talk a little bit more about it. The boys are really into it, and I'm trying to get into it, but when you suck at something, it's really hard to get into. So
You're the only person I've seen stand behind the bar and hit a bullseye.
True story. Ask Scotty Wallace.
Was he there, was he?
Oh, yeah. He still owes me $50 too, by the way.
Was I there?
I don't know, probably.
I think I was. That was on the electronic board, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I was there. So I was.
All right, we're going to touch quickly on the gong, because we're running out of time for this segment.
Yeah.
I've still got start, bench, or cut as well. So
Let's quickly fly through this. So the gong this weekend. Now, can someone pronounce that favourite? Because I don't want to sound like an idiot. Ches,
I'll do.
Oh, cheers, yeah.
It's Count de Rupee.
The rupee.
So, as in like the lira they use over in India or wherever it is, rupee. Right. Count de Rupee is in count the money. counting the cash.
$3.60 favourite at the moment.
$3.60 favourite.
Oh, he's gone out 10 cents in about an hour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, was it $3.50?
Yeah, $3.60 currently with Top Sports. We'll put that market up on the screen for you. And who's the second favourite? Do you want to do that? Number 11?
Number 11. That, if I'm correct, is Jazz's.
I was getting some odds, mate.
At Tashimi. I'm going to guess it.
Where's the M?
I just
Second favourite is A Tissue, written by
that's the one.
Karen McAvoy. Karen McAvoy. Yeah, he's paying $5.50, and that's probably who I'll be looking at.
$6 at the moment, blown out again.
Yeah, there we go.
So live odds, thanks to Top Sport again at the time of recording. These are correct. $6.
Boys, there's some big odds here for some good horses.
It is, yeah, $3.60 favourite. So usually you get that about $2.50, $2.90. So
yeah.
Get in nice and early and get on something if you do like something in the race.
Another one I like too is the top weight I Am Superman, ridden by Tommy Berry, who is in some sensational form at the moment.
Oh, mate.
And that's paying $7.
$8.
$8, here we go. The money's just getting better and better. The money's getting better.
Tommy Berry he rode the first 4 horses of the day in Sydney on the weekend. He rode all 4 winners.
Yeah,
and
right.
I think he rode one in, I think it might have been the 8th. So he rode 5 winners all day. So out of 9 rides, that's
pretty good.
That's very good.
Good
form.
odds.
That was like the other week when we were out on the boat. I think he had 4 or 5.
He did too. He did too. Yeah. Boys, no.
Who do you like?
I'm going to go a little outside of here, boys. I'm going to go either Exo Boom or Yamazaki. Big odds, 26s and 31s, I think.
Ooh, nice outsider.
Off the top of my head. But realistically, it's anyone's race. And I think the favourite's a little bit too short. The other ones too, Dawn Passage or maybe Nudge, but their odds are out a fair bit, so they are.
Nudge, wasn't he off Hey Dad back in the day? Nudge.
Was that a...
Sorry, mate, you would have been the man born then.
Yeah, mate,
Too young for you.
I'm going to go, and I backed it for a place in my charity bet, backing it to lose. I Am Superman for a place.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be my best bet in that race.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my guns and go the 11 there, A Tissue with Karen McAvoy on its back.
Good jockey.
I think if I was going to have a bit of a exotic bet trifecta or a first 4, especially if it's a little bit wet, I'm going to have A Tissue, I Am Superman, Count to Rupee, and for that'll be a trifecta. For the first 4, I'm going to put in the number 20, Brutality, written by Kath O'Hara. It's paying 26 for a win, 7 for a place. Doesn't have a huge record, but on the heavy tracks, that's where it seems to like it. So I'll put that there just to get those zeros added on the end there.
Like
bit
a
of value.
Extra sweet and sour to it. Boys, we're running out of time for this segment. Let's quickly do our charity bet, and we'll hit start bench cut in the next segment. So I'll kick us off. For me, we're recording on a Wednesday, so I'm actually going Tim Zhu to win his fight tonight into Melbourne City. I'm backing on to Chez's bet from last week there, and into I Am Superman to run a place in the Gong, and that one is paying $4.45, and I'm going to put the full whack 50 on it thanks to Top Sport.
Yeah, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to load 50 straight in, boys, at $4, spot on $4. I'm going to have Melbourne City to win by 2.5 goals into Sydney FC to beat the Western Sydney Wanderers head-to-head. So that's exactly $4 on the dot, 50 large.
Nice.
I've got to end up with a bit of Leary here for the charity after these 2 bets finished this week. I've also ran that Melbourne City bet, which I've still got running into this week's as well. So I've got Pakistan to beat Bangladesh, India to beat New Zealand, and that's both in the cricket. Then on Sunday, it was a bit of rugby union. I've got Ireland to beat Argentina. Then we've got Melbourne City to beat Brisbane Roar, Man United to beat Watford, Liverpool to beat Arsenal, and Man City to beat Everton. That's paying $7.41, $50 on that.
Straight
for all the listeners out there, just skip back 20 seconds, get your pen ready to write it down, and you should be right. So, all right, boys, we'll take another break, and we'll be back with a bit of fun straight after this ad.
You can't beat Top Sport's best of the best multis. Top odds are guaranteed during any Saturday Metro meeting. Plus, there's best of the best to win up to $5,000 on Saturday Metro too. Top Sport. Feel the excitement.
Gamble responsibly.
All right, we're back. Segment 3, the fun segment, as I like to call it. We're going to kick it off with another edition of Start, Bench, Cut. Now, this was a new one, a little brainchild of mine from last week. I put it to the boys. They're a coach of a certain team. They've got 3 players. They've got to choose one to start, one to bench, and one to cut. So I'm going to throw to you first, Mr. Cherry, this time. So Kevy has been given the flick. You're now in charge of the Broncos. Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Adam Reynolds, Payne Huss, Katoni Stagg.
Start Reynolds.
Start Reynolds.
Bench Huss. Cut Stags.
Wow.
Stags can come to para.
Hey,
Only because of injuries.
plenty of toes to suck down in Parramatta too, let me tell you.
Pretty lethal with these decisions, aren't they? Just bang, bang, bang.
Hey, just
Brutal.
Yeah.
Glad I don't fucking work for you. Christ. All right, Birdo. Trent Barrett and Gus has called in your expertise to turn things around at Belmore. Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Matt Burton, Josh Adokar, Josh Jackson.
Cut the lot.
Big C through all of it.
I'll cut Adokar
$650 winger right there.
only because I think I could be wrong, but I have a funny feeling he may struggle a little bit without so much around him, Oldham, etc.
Justice.
I'll start Matt Burton and I'll bench Joshy Jackson.
Bench the best player. Righty-go. Ches, back over to you. Your boy, Craig Fitzgibbon, would like your advice on his new recruits.
Bad choice,
the
mate.
Sharks.
Oh, sorry.
Who would you start? Who would you bench? Who would you cut? Dale Finucane, Nico Hines, or Cameron McInnes?
McGuinness cut.
Gone. ACL gone.
Yeah, you might not have to cut him.
Oh, mate, Finucane on the bench and Hines starting.
Nice. I like it.
Finucane, he can
Finucane.
go back later on.
All right, Birdo. Madge has blown multiple arteries and now in Westmead Hospital having a quadruple bypass. Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Adam Dewey, Dane Laurie, Luciano Leilua.
Luciano Leilua's playing reserve grade.
Oh, no. Luscious.
Yeah, he's
Oh, luscious, late.
rubbish. Dewey, I'll keep on.
Start
Yeah, I'll start him
and bench Dane.
and I'll bench
Okay, all right.
Mr. Laurie.
Rightio. Ches, last one for you. Taking you back to the 1996. You're the coach of the USA Dream Team. Ooh. Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen start, bench Shaq, cut Barkley.
Brutal. Oh, brutal. Just bang, bang. Thank you, ma'am.
Easy.
All right, last one for you, Birdos.
Have you seen Barkley play golf?
Oh, his golf
He's
swing.
a swing, man.
Hilarious. Look it up. As soon as you finish watching us on YouTube, after you look up Silverchair, I think it was, look up Charles Barkley. And after you look up In Excess as well, look up Charles Barkley. Birdo, 16th of November 2005.
Yeah.
Socceroos versus You Are Gay. World Cup qualifier. Who do you start? Who do you bench? Who do you cut? Mark Schwarzer, Harry Kuehl, John Aloisi.
I'll start Mark Schwarzer. He's the best player of that game, saved 2 penalties against Uruguay. John Aloisi is cut, and Harry Kuehl will be on the bench.
So John Aloisi scored the winning goal, so we never made the World Cup.
So what happens if I had to kick that one and it went in?
You?
Yeah. So I didn't do much during the game, but I kicked the last goal. That's all he's ever really remembered for. I'm sorry, John. I know he scored one of the 3 against Japan. When we were actually in Germany in 2006.
I was doing a bit of research, and actually both Harry Kuehl and John Aloisi actually came off the bench for that match as well.
They did.
So, yeah. Very good. That was that. I was running out of NRL teams, so that's why I had to go to basketball and soccer. I know the boys both like that. It may or may not be back next week. I'm running out of ideas, so we'll see what happens.
Cricket.
So, cricket, yeah.
Polish water.
Russian curling.
I actually said this morning the pairs ping pong championships were on as well. I think it was,
Were they in Thailand?
I think it was in Korea. I don't know.
I don't know if I was I don't know if I was playing badminton or what.
All right, boys, we're going to jump straight out of that into 21 and done. Now, last week we fucked the scoring up. These boys confused the shit out of me. Luckily, I had the on-screen scoreboard, which was correct. So if you were watching on YouTube, you would have seen the notification to say, look at this, not listen to us Muppets. Unfortunately, those listen to us via audio only would have been confused as shit. But we've got a new scoring system. Don't really, I'm just going to pay more attention. So hopefully it won't happen again.
Pretty sure Chaz pumped me.
No, I think you got
me on the last one.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
won.
that was worth about 300
Well,
points.
I just fucked it up. But anyway.
I bought a secret weapon this week. So
Oh, here we go. New buzzer.
Okay, do we want to test them?
Birdman.
Chaz.
That's working great. All right. Easy one as always. How many letter I's are in Boom Parramatta forward Isaiah Papalihi's name?
Does that include his first name?
Yes.
Chaz 6.
Incorrect.
5. I'm just going on.
Incorrect. Fucking spell it out, boys. Come on. Easy one.
Birdman 3.
Chaz 4.
Yeah.
I can't spell.
Wowzers. Okay. Okay, here we go. How many wickets did Australia win the T20 World Cup final by?
Birdman 6. Oh, what?
I'll turn that page over. I've got it written down. Chaz 3.
A little closer.
7.
I'm going to cheat here.
Go 5.
You're going the wrong way.
Chaz 2.
Oh,
No.
3.
8.
Birdman 3.
No points. 8.
Oh, we only lost 3 wickets, mate.
Yeah, 8.
That's what you're thinking, Chaz.
We won by 8 wickets.
Yeah, so Chaz is thinking.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Too many of these.
And 7 balls remaining, which you'd mentioned earlier. So, all right. Of the 173 runs scored by the Aussies in the final, how many runs did captain Aaron Finch contribute?
5.
5. You'd answered it before we even got to it. Just thought I'd throw that sneaky one in there. Another
all right.
little dig at him.
He's still holding the 5th trophy as well.
Multiple choice, moving right along. How many times did former UFC heavyweight Brock Lesnar defend his title? Is it A, once, B, twice, C, 3 times?
Birdman. It's not. Oh, usually you blow up. Say, you can't answer fucking with a question. I'm going to say twice.
Twice is correct, yes. They were against the Frank Mir rematch and also Shane Carwin, who he choked the fuck out. All right. Hang on, I better give you a point. 2 plays 1 because there was no point for question number 2. I think that's right. Who beat him to take his title?
Chaz. Junior Dos Santos.
Oh, incorrect.
Oh, I think I know it. You go and then we'll share this one.
Want a clue?
Get a clue.
Get a clue.
Brown Pride.
Give this one to Birdo.
Tattoo.
What's his name off the home and away?
Home and away?
Yeah, the fellas that got
The Bra Boys.
Bra Boys.
Not the Bravo, the River Boys, I think.
River Boys. It's same difference. Chaz, you can have it.
Kane Velasquez.
Kane Velasquez is correct. And that was back in 2010.
Wow.
I watched that fight again today, researching this this extraordinary game, and it is a fucking fantastic fight if you like seeing Brock Lesnar get his ass kicked. All right, moving on. What sport would you be doing if you performed a nollie?
Birdman. A nollie is skateboarding.
Yep.
Skateboarding.
I know, you know what it is?
I used to.
A nose
So-
ollie.
Yeah, so the ollies from the back foot, they actually go to the front of the board when they're going forwards and do it from the reverse. Tony Hawk's pro skater on the Xbox, mate. That's what,
3 plays 2.
PS1 Underground.
All right, we've done that one. The Adelaide 36ers play in which Australian sporting competition?
it's basketball.
Is that the NBL?
The 36ers.
Yeah, so basketball, is it
Yeah.
NBL?
Oh, fucking
Correct.
robbery.
Bit of a spoon feed there. So, yes, you're correct. They play in the NBL. In which year did Kobe Bryant tragically pass away after a helicopter crash?
Birdman, 19.
2019?
Yep.
Chaz 2018.
Incorrect.
2020.
Correct.
Wow.
2020 is correct. Yeah, I thought it was a bit longer. So it was January 26th. So nearly coming up to a 2-year anniversary. So how many times did Peter Brock win Bathurst 1000?
Oh. I've got a figure in my head. It sounds ridiculous, but I could be right.
So, mate, safe space here.
Just say it, baby. Say it. I'm going to say 9.
You were fucking correct. Fantastic. 9, unsurpassed at the moment. So there's a few others with, I think, Lowndes about 7. So, yeah, 9. All right, multiple choice again. What brand is the official ball of the NFL? Is it A, Wilson, B, Spalding, or C, Nike?
Birdman, Wilson.
Wilson is correct. He's taking the lead. 5
Wilson!
plays 4.
Castaway.
All right,
when you're
listen.
done watching all that stuff, go and watch Castaway.
Listen carefully. A 2002 romantic comedy sports film is Bend It Like
Chaz. Beckham.
Beckham, yes. 5 apiece. Nice. Okay, now this one might confuse you. And,
I will.
And it might confuse a lot of people, so really think about it. What is the lowest number that cannot be scored with a single dart? Lowest number that cannot be scored with a single dart.
Chaz 23.
23. Fuck, I thought it was going to confuse him, but he's just too good.
Go with the darts, brother.
Too good. So obviously you can go 1 through to 20. You can get 21 by 777, and you can get 22 by 12.
11.
Double 11, sorry. Can't get anything to get 23 with a single dart. So correct, Mondo. I like it. All right. In ice hockey, a major penalty will cost a player how long in the penalty box?
Oh, go back to when I used to play NHL on the PlayStation. See if it was accurate.
Wayne Gretzky's.
Remember when you used to just button mash the...
I'm going to have a guess here. I think it's not like an even number. I'm going to say 6 minutes.
Not 6.
I'm going to say 4.
Not 4.
Chaz 7.
Not 7.
Well, I'm not the biggest ice hockey fan. I'm going to say...
It's in between your answer and his first answer.
What was your first one?
6.
6. What was mine?
4.
4. Is it 4? No, 5.
5. Wowzers. Yes, 5 minutes for a major penalty. What is the nickname of former Bronco and Queensland legend Alan Langer?
Birdman. Alfie.
Alfie, 7 plays 6. 7-6 over here. How many teams make up the KFC Big Bash League?
I'll stab here. Chaz 10.
Incorrect.
Birdman, 9.
Nope.
12.
No.
Going the wrong way.
2 in Sydney.
2 in Melbourne.
2 in Melbourne.
1 in Perth.
1 in Perth.
1 in Brisbane.
1 in Hobart. 1 in Brisbane.
1 in Adelaide.
1 in Adelaide.
Redcliffe Dolphins.
How many?
8.
8
I
is
said
correct.
8.
No, you said,
He said
9.
9.
Oh.
And just on that, if you haven't already signed up for our BBL tipping comp, make sure you get on over to our website, become an SGM Club member, go into the chance to win up to $500 worth of cash and prizes, $350 for first place, $100 for second, $50 for third. Get over there right now. All right, that's that one done. In which Australian city will you find Eagle Farm Racecourse?
Chaz.
Birdman.
Oh,
No, I'm taking that.
I don't know. Give me your answer.
Brisbane.
Brisbane's correct. How about I give you a point each?
Yeah, do it.
Were you going to say Brisbane?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you were.
Point each. 9 plays 7. Okay. Spanish singer-songwriter Enrique Iglesias is married to which former tennis glamour girl?
Okay.
And, Chaz Anastasia Kournikova.
I'll give you the points. It's just Anna Kournikova.
Anna,
but
that's
yes.
right. I was thinking that Anastasia Bromwich-Slova from the darts.
I remember back in about year 7, year 8, year 9, I used to have a picture of her cut out on the inside of my folder.
Is that right? I had Maria
Give me the
Sharapova.
paper towel. Yeah, right.
Do you remember the Alpha magazines? So
Yes,
the one
yes.
I got was the centerfold.
FHM.
It was Maria Sharapova. Ooh.
All right, 9 plays 8. We've got a few questions left. George Gregan is famous for which
Chaz.
sport?
Rugby union.
Rugby union, 9 apiece. Beautiful.
Griegsy.
Last multiple choice. What is the world record for the men's high jump? Is it A, 2.25 metres, B, 2.35 metres, or C, 2.45 metres?
Yeah.
But, man, I'm going to go C, going for glory.
And you would be correct,
Hey!
2.45 metres, nearly 2.5 metres.
What a guess.
By Javier Sotomayor in 1993, believe it or not. 1993. I bet you he didn't share a fucking gold medal.
Was it a scissor or a flop?
A flop, I think, yeah. A bit like this show. Which NRL star has this week taken up a contract with the Catalan Dragons?
That's Piercy, Mitchell.
I better give you a point for the high jump, and I'll give you one for that. All right, so we are going into the last question. It is 11 plays 9. This question is worth 3 points, so anyone can win. Now, you said last week, Ches, you should write these down, so you can more than happy to do that. This one's nearest to, again, fate in your own hands. How much prize money has Serena Williams won so far in her career? I'll give you a bracket if you like. The bracket is between 80 million and 110 million.
I was way off. Lucky you said that.
Want to write it down? You got a little scribe there, mate?
Oh, yeah, just magic quill in my hand. I'm going to go 97 million.
97 million, okay.
102.
102 million for the Chesmeister.
97.1.
It is 93,630,000. So Bertman gets the points.
That's
again.
a lot of coin.
That's just prize money, not to mention endorsements and everything like that. So you're going to get 3 points there, and that takes you to a total of 14. Plays 9. I think he's going for 5 straight next week. I might have to tailor the questions to Mr. Cherry next week.
I didn't get any help last week.
On Taylor, from Phil Taylor questions, mate. That'll help.
All right, another edition 21 and done and dusted for this week. Love that segment. Send in your questions if you do have something for the lads. More than happy to get it on board and get you a part of the show as well. So, all right, that's all the fun done. Let's hop into Beer of the Week. Thanks to the White Bull Hotel, great sponsors of the show, have been with us since the start of the podcast. Hopefully will be with us until the end. What did they fix up with this week, boys?
Mate, I got these this Saturday when I knocked off. Mr. Hawke, he was a bit busy down there getting some Christmas displays ready with the old...
Already?
The festive... Oh, it's getting there.
No, it's not. It's November. Settle.
You can put your tree up on the weekend.
I think there was a couple of new gins and scotches and stuff floating around at the front. What? Oh, yeah. Well, cut that one. Cut that.
It's staying.
I won't say that. I'll start that again.
No.
This is why you hang around to the end for shit like this. We get a bit troppo towards the end. The boys had a couple of cans, and we get a bit loose. So thanks for hanging around. Yeah, that's where you get all the fun stuff.
So Benny Gurr actually picked us up today while Hawkeye was busy.
The Gurr man.
Gifted us with a nice little Melbourne bitter can. Now, I used to actually drink these, would have been over a decade ago in the long necks. I used to purchase them back when I was working night shifts. Used to drown a few, especially in the middle of summer. Heavies again, 1.4s, so make sure you only have 1 or 2 if you're going to be behind the wheel. There's just no faults, is there again? This is 2 weeks in a row here. Absolute gems. So I've had these before, obviously, like I just said. I've got to give it a 5.
Well, a lot of people have flogged the bitter beer because of Victoria bitter. Don't be fooled. This is
nothing like it.
Nothing like it. No. So, I actually I'm gonna bounce off the last one we did, which was Smokey and the Bandit was the movie that I watched, and it got me onto the Coors Light, what is what they call it. But can
I just have a quick guess here?
Yeah.
You don't say Cracker Jack?
No.
It's
Chopper Reed.
Oh,
Off the Chopper movie when he's sitting there, he's having a beer with Nev. He's actually drinking Melbourne bitters, and I thought, I might spear past the bottle shop and get them. They only had them in Tallies or 6-packs. I got 3 Tallies, and ever since then, never looked back. So, but like you said, Ches, they are fairly strong. So if you are driving, do the right thing, please. But boys, I can't fault it either. And like I said, don't be mistaken because of the bitter. It's actually nothing like VB, boys. This will be a 5 again.
Wow, 2 weeks in a row, top stubby lid rating from both the boys. Do you think the boys down at the White Ball have actually listened to the show and heard you rubbish a few of the ones they're giving us, so they're giving you some good ones?
Well, Hawkeye actually breezed through the fridge there. I think it was last week and made a couple of comments on a few selections there. He said, I don't think you're like these ones, so we might leave them on the shelf. I think I'm going to ask if we can. I've got a little special for next week, leading into closer to Christmas time. I know you like your dark beer, so I'm going to see if Hawk, if we can organise something for next week. So you've probably tried it before, but I don't know. It is nice, and it could be a hat trick of 5. So we'll wait and see.
Here we go.
Stay tuned for that one. All right, boys, that was great. And once again, thanks to the White Bull Hotel. Get on down there if you are in the local Armidale area, and check out not only the bottle shop but also the pub itself. Some great meals cooked by my man to my left, and also the bar staff are exceptional as well. So fantastic sponsors of the show. That just about wraps us up for this week, boys. Again, not a lot of sport to talk about, so hopefully you had a bit of entertainment with a laugh along with us as well. As always, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever you got to do. Just make sure that you tell your friends about the show as well, and head on over to our website, become an SGM Club member, be part of our BBL tipping comp. $500 worth of cash and prizes up for grabs. 2-month competition. You got nothing to lose, free to join, and hopefully you can beat us, boys. But yeah, make sure you get across there and sign up. Anything else, lads, before we go?
If there is somehow, some way I jag some money in this cricket tipping, I'm going to donate my money back to one of the people that are in there. I might do one of those random number selection things on the phone or something during the episode. I know not much about the BBL, but I'm going to give it a good crack.
Well, if I do, I'll probably donate mine to maybe the Whitepool Hotel Bottle Shop. Back to the sponsors. So
very good. All right, lads, that wraps us up. Thanks again for staying with us. We'll be back next week with another edition. So until then, make sure you stay inside and don't text and drive.